BAM had a great year in 2019. We guaranteed $10 billion worth of new issues for over 1,000 issuers, and that was a record for us. In the secondary market, we guaranteed $1.3 billion worth of transactions, and that was also a record. One of the interesting things that happened last year was that our rating was affirmed AA stable by Standard & Poor's, not once, but twice that year. The first was under the normal regular standards that Standard & Poor's has been using for many years for the financial guarantors. But later in the year, they incorporated BAM and the other rated insurance companies into the larger insurance framework. And again, we were rated AA stable. Key market drivers for 2019 were kind of surprising. At the beginning of the year, we thought interest rates were going to go up. It turned out that they went down and stayed down for the entire year and are still low, and we think probably going to stay low for most of 2020. One of the consequences of that, it was a record volume year. So the market underwrote over $420 billion worth of a new issue, and a lot of that was refinancings in this low, long interest rate environment. Part of that market, which we hadn't seen anticipated coming, was taxable municipal bonds being used to refinance outstanding tax-exempt issues. So that portion of the market was 22% greater than it was in 2018, and we think that trend actually will increase and continue through 2020. What it does is it brings in taxable municipal bonds, bring in a lot of other different kinds of investors. So we find there are international investors, both in Europe and in Asia, particularly Japan, that are focused on buying taxable municipal bonds, and our guarantee is helping that happen to a greater extent. So in 2020, we think that the market trends that started in 2019 will continue. The first one will be the fact that issuance will continue to grow. Last year was a record year. We anticipate that 2020 will be a record year. We also think that refinancings, as a result of low interest rates, will continue to grow. Further, we think there's an increasing investor awareness for green bonds, and that are sustainable water and clean power. We have an international standard that we follow. Last year, we rated and guaranteed over 500 million of green bond transactions for over 50 issuers. So we think that trend will continue. And I think there's also, given what's happening with the wildfires in California, and now we can see the same thing happening in Australia, we think there'll be a greater awareness and sensitivity for catastrophe risk that municipalities might be taking. All of these kinds of risks are covered by BAM's guarantee. So we think that going forward, we're likely to have an increased penetration in secondary market transactions, an increased participation in the primary market, and we think investors will be looking to our credit profiles and our underwriting standards that address both catastrophe issues and other credit issues that are of concern to the market, such as pension funds. So one of the things that BAM has taken on as an important initiative is the creation of credit profiles. We have written 8,000 of them since we've started the company, and we think that these are useful both in terms of describing the fiscal health of the issuers that we guarantee, and also providing that as free information to the investors in the spirit of transparency so that they can make an assessment about the underlying performance of a bond that we guarantee.